Okay, here's my other question. Some of this stuff, especially the tracking where they are, how do you, if you take that path, if you Netflix and watch your child, how do you decide, or what are some questions to ask yourself about deciding when to stop doing that? Like when they leave for college, do you stop? Or when they graduate from college, do you stop? Or because if you're all on one phone plan, you could probably be doing this when they're like 26.
Oh yeah.
And so are you still seeing?
Oh, I see parents do that.
Okay.
Yeah, well into the college ages.
So that's a consideration, right? Like if I start this now, am I going to know when to stop?
Yeah.
And is there a right or wrong time to stop?
It's hard, I think, when you're a parent because there is this kind of sense of self-assurance that I'm doing the right thing. I'm checking. She is or he is where he or she said they would be. Things are probably more okay than not.
Yeah. I can go to bed. I don't need to call the cops.
Yeah. So the health and safety job of parenting is managed reasonably well. I mean, we know kids know their way around these things. What doesn't get managed, what concerns me about that, is when I take a big step back and I think, as parents, what are our goals really? When our child is off to college or whatever's next, I always figure we want them to feel competent and resilient.
Okay.
And the checking is a great safety tool.
Yeah.
And really useful when you sense your kid is in some kind of peril, but it doesn't foster the competence and resilience, that show of faith and confidence that you've got this.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to, I trust that you can manage the world well.
Yeah.
So at some point we have to shift into that. I think that has to happen before college.
Yeah. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing, tell me if this is accurate, that knowing your parents trust you to figure things out for yourself, and knowing that you don't sort of have that safety net of your parents checking your every minute by minute move.
Yep.
Would both that knowledge that you lack a safety net and that your parents trust you actually make you more resilient and a better sort of planner and more careful, like, I better have money for the subway and I better know how to, get there if the subway breaks down.
They're not going to do this for me, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's more true than not, know? And for parents, I think we're anxious that that's not going to happen. But I can say based on about a quarter century experience that by and large, that works out pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah.
I like by and large. We're not looking for black and white.
It's not a
never
promise,
always.
It's a by and large.
Yeah, it's a by and large. I like that. Okay. This is our final question, and then we are unfortunately running out of time. But Christine wants to know, what are some recommended consequences for breaking the social media rules of no Snapchat or Twitter? I'm tired of the delete and repeat with my 12-year-old. See, this is a great question because you're not supposed to have Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook till you're 13, but they know how to get it on their phones. And so are you supposed to just go through and delete it and then the next day they stick the thing back on there?
Right. And that happens far too often. What we don't want to create liars out of our kids, kind of these perennial liars. Better, to my thinking, to talk about the safety and the issues involved with this.
Okay.
Not to fight a losing battle. If you know that your child doesn't have Snapchat on his or her phone, they might have an iPhone 2 from the 80s. That they can
a burner phone.
Right. And they can tap the Wi-Fi of the neighbors or a friend's phone or something like that. And all of a sudden, then you're out of the conversation. And I think as a parent, you want to be in the conversation. And on balance, I'd rather you say, recognize the writing on the wall. Okay, you're going to have Snapchat and Twitter eventually, so I'm going to allow this, but we're going to keep some safeguards on it. We're going to talk about it a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to follow you. Or
Yeah. And your aunts and uncles and
are going to follow you.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was Devorah Heitner said once, better to be a mentor than a cop
Great.
on this stuff. I kind of like that.
I love that.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.